Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I will talk about anything and everything that catches our interest and or ire. We broadcast live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Pacific. We'll be previewing trailers, talking about rumors, and recapping all of the crazy stuff that happens leading up to this year's Tokyo Game Show. Baku, how are you doing today?
Excited, nervous. There's a lot of writings, a lot of things to go through. Yeah, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Man, I am feeling pretty darn hyped. I surprisingly, I've been living under a rock all week. Work has been a lot. So I'm actually going in kind of blind, like more blind than usual today. So I am both apprehensive and anxious, but also I'm a responsible level of hyped, and I think I'm going to try to maintain that throughout today's show. That's the hope anyway.
We'll see if today's the day that we break your responsible hype, because it's hard.
I don't think so, man. I don't think it's going to be okay. Look, I got my hype responsibly shirt on, which you can get over at shop.superdarkrpgs.com, and it too can be your shield against getting overhyped. And when you're overhyped, games just underdeliver, and it's not the fault of the game sometimes. It's just the way hype be. But but you know what? That's neither here nor there. I will say though, on the subject of merch, I do have a very promising little shirt on the horizon that's going to be up for pre-sale here before terribly long, kind of commemorating a certain 10-year anniversary on the YouTubes.
10 years?
It has been 10 years since
wow.
But you know what? Enough about me. Baku, what have you been up to this week?
So we raised how much is it right now? We raised about $3,300 for Hawaii over the last 26 hours so far.
That's incredible.
I know, right? So the raid train between me and like a couple of fellow streamer over in Twitch started yesterday at, I believe, at noon yesterday. I was at the 10 p.m. slot, and by the end of my stream, we were at like $2,000 already. So that was about 3 a.m. Eastern time. And now we're up to about $3,300. We got 2 hours to go. We have broken our initial, initial goal like 7 times. So that's pretty nutty. Yeah, they originally set it at $1,000. And then I was like, I raised $1,000. Like, girl, you gotta. The lady who hosted it, Wendy Finch. I was like, girl, you gotta raise that goal. Like, who do you think we are? Like 1,000? That's it. I'm like, did you do this on purpose? Did you think we're not gonna hit that? Is that why?
Well,
like,
I mean, with a fundraiser like that, you never want to like not hit the goal, right? Like, I feel like you always want the goals to be within striking distance. Otherwise, it just feels like, oh, well, we did this big raid train thing for like 3 days, and well, we didn't make it.
But it's a team goal. Like, it's not my individual goal. It was the team goal. Like, girl. But hey, 2 special thanks. Okay. Special thanks. Number 1, for our friends over at Something Classic Games. They reached out once they saw that I was doing like a game raffle in my part of the raid train. They were like, hey, do you want some keys to give away? So they gave us a couple of keys, and of course we raffled those out, and that contributed to our successful fundraiser. So thank you so much, folks from Something Classic Games. And also special thanks to this is crazy, a friend, Bring Back Fluffy Dogs, whom you guys may or may not know. Like, he sends in a lot of super chat just to chat with Derek and myself. This mad lad sent in $644 last night for Maui. So thank you so much again. All the funds, all the donations, all the proceeds go towards direct relief to Hawaii. So as you all know, there was a wildfire that happened not too long ago in Maui, and just everything's completely burnt down. It's crazy, devastating. And so it's going to take months of rebuilding. People need supplies. That's what direct relief is not like reconstruction, but like just relief aid, like food and water and like essentials
helping
to keep
get people
alive.
to the next day, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. So thank you guys for coming by. For anyone who's here who came by, man, thank you so much for your support. It was insane. The energy was there. We're all there to watch me humiliate myself and also raise money for Hawaii. I'm okay with doing that.
That's
It
awesome.
only took 2 shots of rum and a spoonful of hot sauce to do the job. So, oh, I still have the hot sauce right here. By the way, this is the Double Dog Daria. It's 2.2 mil Schofield unit. Took a whole spoon of it because we hit $1,000 goal. It was painful,
incredible,
but it was worth it. So, thank you again, guys.
Well, I'm so proud of everybody who showed up to Baku's stream to help him feel that pain. Oh man, but seriously, Baku, if that is still currently ongoing here, correct?
That is correct. It is still going on for another 2 hours.
Would you like to?
We'll see if we can hit it.
I was gonna say, would you like to throw a link into the chat as well, just to?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
let's do that. All right. Well, why do that? How about you, man? What was your week like?
It's been a lot. A lot of work stuff and just kind of working on my bike because the work is never done. It is an ever evolving piece of art. But I've also finished writing my review of Sea of Stars. I finally finished that game and it was really, really good. I think you've got a lot to look forward to when you eventually play it when it comes out.
Ooh, physical copy. Waiting for physical copy.
Yep, I know. When it comes out on physical, yep. I know that you will
jump on it.
Yeah. So I have gone ahead, and for anybody who's watching live, I've linked the Tiltify at the top for anybody who would like to contribute to that goal for the Maui wildfires.
Hey, much appreciated.
Of course. So I guess let's go ahead and dive into some quick before we dive into like the really big news. We've got some updates to some previous releases. Do you want to start us off with that one here, or actually maybe I'll steal that one so that you can take care of the.
I thought we want to go for the voicemail. No.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes. I was like, wait a minute, what?
You know what? You are on it tonight. It has been such. I'm operating on very little sleep today. I'll let you guys know that also. But let's go ahead and listen to that voicemail that we got today.
Hi, Super Dark and Baku-san. Rustin from Massachusetts here. I'm currently playing through Legend of Legacy on my 3DS, and hopefully after that I'll start playing Yakuza Dead Souls. As for my question, what controller that isn't able to be used on modern platforms would you want to see a fully featured controller with motion controls, haptic feedback, Bluetooth, and 14 buttons, and possibly 2 analog sticks? Would you want to see on modern platforms? My choice would be the Sega Dreamcast controller. I love the feel of it, and I would really like to see like a fully modernized version of it with 14 buttons, 2 analog sticks, and Bluetooth to be used on both the Dreamcast and modern consoles. Goodbye.
Yeah. So
thank you
so much. I wanted to say, okay, the Dreamcast, man, I wish that one had a second analog stick. Like that would have been game changing, and the fact that it wasn't included on the original release of the Dreamcast. I mean, it's fine for like the arcade style games, and it ended up being okay. But man, having a second right analog stick for like moving camera controls and stuff would have made games like Jet Grind Radio so much easier and more fun, I think. But I
had to look at what a Dreamcast controller looked like because it's been so long.
It's basically like a predecessor to the Xbox controller, I think, in a lot of ways, or at least the Duke, the Xbox Duke controller.
The Duke controller, absolutely, 2 analog sticks would have been nice. Yeah, just basic. I mean, essentially, you'll end up having a Xbox controllers, what it will effectively be. You know, obviously you'd remove the whole memory card slot in the middle. Like
no,
that's
you gotta have that. You gotta keep.
Oh, you
that.
have to have it.
Yep.
What about the Rumble
integral.
Pack? Is that where the Rumble Pack goes to now?
Yeah, exactly. Man, I loved the Dreamcast controller. It was it had like the analog shoulder buttons too. That was really cool.
Yeah.
If I was gonna have a modern controller kind of redesigned for like to have modern amenities, gosh, I kind of would want it to be honestly kind of like an NES controller. I don't think I would need the dual analog sticks. What I would the big controller one that I have is actually not a controller to be used on modern platforms, but a controller to be used on an NES that's like shaped like an NES Max. So it's got like the ergonomics. It's, you know, got like the little, I don't know what you call them, the little things that like bump down so you can like grab onto them, the handles for the controller. I want the D-pad to feel like the original D-pad on the NES, you know, which is or Super Nintendo style. I think that would be incredible. And the big problem that I have with a lot of the controllers available right now is that the way that the buttons are laid out, like I think it was good to have like the diamond shape pattern. I like that. But what a lot of them do wrong is they kind of change the placement of the B and A buttons so that you have to rock from like side to side. Instead of like forward and backward when you're like doing a lot of like the intricate like Mario jumps and stuff, like where you're holding the run button and then trying to do it. You know, it's just a different movement on a lot of like the NES Max or similar style controllers. So yeah, that's really what I would probably want as far as like a controller wish list goes. And I've thought a lot about this like too long and too hard for a while.
Isn't that just the 8-bit Pro 2 controller? Isn't that what you want? No.
Well, that's the Super Nintendo, right? The yeah, I've got the from 8-bit Do the SNS Pro 2 or something, and that is a great modern controller. It feels like a PlayStation 1 / Super Nintendo controller. I love it for modern stuff. That's why I don't have any like real asks at this point for like modern controllers, because 8-bit Do has already resolved all of the things I would want from it.
Yeah, no, sorry, not the Pro 2, but the Pro, like the regular Pro. That one is shaped like almost like the original Super Nintendo. Yeah, that one.
That I don't know. I don't really love the ergonomics of it because it doesn't have it's shaped like a Super Nintendo controller, right? But it doesn't have the two. I like the two PlayStation kind of like nubs that come down that you grab onto.
You want the handle.
Yeah, I want to. I want a better way to play NES games that like don't have like the corners of controllers like jamming into my fingers and palms, like, and a little bit of breathing room with the button placement. I think would be nice to have it like, you know, to have them at an angle that's in line with like your thumb, so it's like shaped like for somebody with human hands instead of like, you know, instead of somebody who like holds the controller like this, hold it like this, you know, that would make sense to me. But yeah, that's all right.
Dreamcast. Yeah, I never think about controller like for a person who games this much. I just kind of adjust. I'm just like, whatever, just give me a way to interface and I'll make do. Like, I don't care about how it shapes per se. I've never had like a terribly uncomfortable controller. Then again, I've never used the Duke controller because I never.
Oh, the Duke was actually really comfortable.
Oh, it was comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never tried any of the Xbox controllers. I have no idea what I'm potentially missing out on. But like anything that like Nintendo and Sony has thrown my way, they have worked adequately. So
yeah, they haven't really screwed up any time like within the last several years. I think that the NES controller was probably like the least comfortable that I've played for the longest time. I was never a fan of the Sega
Saturn
Genesis controller.
Oh, Genesis.
Yeah.
6-button?
No, the 3-button.
Oh, the 3-button. I thought it has 6-button.
There's two different variants. One has a 3-button, one's got a 6-button. I think the 6-button's more comfortable. I was never a fan of the 3-button.
Something's missing.
But I think that like by the early 90s, I feel like everybody had the controller pretty well figured out. You know, by the mid to late 90s, it was no longer really.
Actually, I lied. The least comfortable controller I've ever used, and thankfully I didn't own the system. Because I had always gone to my friends, like my next door neighbor had the system. I had the PlayStation. He had the N64. The N64 controller was not comfortable to use for the slightest. It's got 3 like thing that jams out, and I'm just like, how should I handle this beast? You know, like how does one hold this controller?
I can see why that would be really confusing to somebody coming new to the Nintendo 64. But I think people who grew up with the controller,
you liked it.
I mean, let's say we still got blisters, but you eventually figured out like the best way to hold it. And because like when I first played it, I also wanted to grab the 2 outer edges and like use the D-pad, but like that didn't work. You had to grab the middle one, and then you had to control off to the side. And that was, you know, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. It was.
I heard people like the GameCube one.
Yeah,
so,
the GameCube was pretty good. I think that the problem with the 64 was that Nintendo kind of had 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the decision to make it about 3D graphics at the time. Like they're like, we don't know if this 3D, you know, polygon thing is really gonna stick. So let's just let's add this 3rd prong for people to hold on to with a D-pad just in case things don't work out. Nowadays, you probably want to get the fighter. The Nintendo 64 fighter pad or something like that, fight pad, and it's got way better ergonomics.
Oh yeah, that trigger in the end too.
Yeah,
like in the middle, like the triggers in the middle. It's just like, what? Why is that there? Yeah. Sorry, I don't think we necessarily answered the question, but
I know
I don't really have a. I guess that is my answer. Is I don't really think about controllers a lot, but you know what? Because you asked from the whoever sent in the voicemail, I heard it's from Massachusetts. You know, you've got me thinking about controller a little bit. I'll think about that. So thank you so much again.
All right. Well, thank you. And if you guys have a voicemail that you would like to leave us, you may do so at hang on. Where's the button? Here we go. At 785-337-3805. Or you could also send us a voicemail over at HitPoint at SuperDerekRPGs.com via email, and we'll play it on the air. So
that's right.
Well, on the air. Is this technically on the air? Well, if you're on Wi-Fi, it's over the air. If you're hardwired, it's through the cords.
Through the wires. We're here through the wires.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and tackle this next section, kind of covering some updates to previous releases. So starting off with Sonic Frontiers, The Final Horizon is the 3rd and the final DLC to Sonic Frontier. The update will be released here on the 28th of this month, so just a little over a week away. And like all previous DLCs, this one is also free, which is pretty dang sweet. And it will include a new story and new playable characters, being Amy, Knuckles, and Tails, which is pretty dang sick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did I even add that to the list?
You might not have.
I might not have. Here, let me throw in the trailer real quick.
Yeah.
And we can watch this. All right.
Of my millions of calculations, there was
I don't think this is it.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
However,
This is it.
it could be the one to
You'll
save
see.
us all.
Okay. That definitely okay, that tracks now. I was like, oh god, did I do that again somehow?
Did you play something wrong?
Sonic handled 4 islands in this mess. I'm not going down to just one.
Man, Knuckles was always my favorite Sonic character.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. 100%. Tails is
been rough.
He was there.
Okay. Yeah, he was there.
One of my favorite things to do in like Sonic 2 was to just position Tails in just such a unfortunate spot that he would like move a little and then fall off a cliff
and just die.
And then come back in like, 5 seconds.
Hey, I'm still alive, Sonic. Don't forget me. I'm still here.
So, yeah, we can look forward to that DLC coming out on the 28th of the month. And that about does it for updates to previous releases. So next up, we do have some upcoming releases, though, that, well, some of them are upcoming and some of them already are out, right?
Yeah, some of them were out from last week. But hey, listen, we've got a lot of announcements to go through. So unlike the usual where, we review the video and be like, oh, it's on this thing. That's what this game's about. We're just going to like split through it really quick. I'm just going to tell you what games, what date are coming out, and on what platform, basically. So starting with Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 Remastered, that came out on 9/14 on the Switch. Wandering Sword, which actually I'm kind of excited to see what it's going to be like, came on 9/15 the next day on PC via Steam. Then here are now things that will be coming up, starting with The Legend of Nayuda, Boundless Trails. That's kind of it's like a Trails game, but like not really. Like I'm not sure how it relates to Trails, but it is from Falcom.
It's not it's not really, it's kind of like a side story, and it's an action RPG, so a little bit different.
An action RPG. Yeah, definitely. If you are a East fan, you may find this game a lot more familiar than a Trails game. So this is coming out on different days depending on where you're located. For the US, it's going to come out, or should I say North America, it's going to come out on September 19th. For folks who are over in Europe and Australia, New Zealand, it's coming out on September 22nd on PS4, Switch, and the PC. So check that out. Next up, we've got a Soul-esque game that's set in France called The Lies of P, P standing for Pinocchio, coming out also on September 19th, this time for PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, PC, via Steam, just anything but the Switch. Last but not least, we've got a Press R2 to Hold Hands, Eternites, coming out on September 21st on PS4, PS5, and PC. On Steam on September 12th. Wait, what? It's coming out on Steam on September 12th?
It was already out on Steam.
It's already out on Steam. Okay, it's coming out on PS4 and 5 on September 21st. Okay. That's right. All right, that's all the upcoming releases. We're not watching videos because we got a lot of videos of new games coming out. So
many new games.
So many new games. Let's dive into the good stuff.
All right. Well, go ahead and grab this next one too, so that
Yeah, sure thing, Mr. Derek.
Thank you.
I'll also have to change like all of our order. Yeah. So this first game that we have is not part of the Playism Game Show or the Nintendo Direct or the State of Play. These are just games that, well, happens to be announced, and they're really good, and I think we should know about it. From OTK Games, they've just announced the release window for their newest action RPG/brawler called Detained, Too Good for School. Now, if OTK sounds familiar to some of you, it's because they're the developers behind Sword of the Vagrant. This game was in Kickstarter and funded back in 2021, and so now in 2023 they're finally giving us some insight as to what the game's going to look like, etc. In this game, you will play as a delinquent schoolgirl who got into trouble and was locked up in juvie for 6 months. After being released, you go on a mission to avenge your brother's murder, and treading through the dangerous streets of Swinster City. We've got a trailer. Let's take a look.
Okay, let's check this out.
Actually looks really good. So I'm just like, all right, let's bring this out.
Yeah, it does.
Love the art. Yeah, you see the actual depth too. Oh, that's a gun to the head. So yeah, you got a little bit of like vanilla wear inspiration in the arts, definitely. Like OTK has been not shy about it. Even Vagrant, the Story of the Vagrant, Sword of the Vagrant, was heavily inspired by vanilla wear games.
Yeah.
So if you see similarities, they will flat out tell you that's their inspiration. This again, they have said that this is going to be a brawler / RPG. So there's some RPG elements to this, which I think will be interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not quite like River City Girl, where it's like stage and stage, and you just sort of move on and fight bosses and just go on from there. Like you're actually gonna run back and forth, and there's some RPG stuff. So
yeah, it looked like I saw them like doing mini games, like as a maid or something. Or I wonder if it's gonna be a little bit like No More Heroes, a little bit like a side-scrolling No More Heroes featuring a gal. That'd be pretty rad.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of this in action.
Ooh, me too.
Oh man.
Yeah. So this game is planned for 2024 release, so next year on PC via Steam. PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch versions are also planned, although they haven't explicitly stated that it will be released in 2024. So you will have the PC version at least. So if more news comes out, we'll be sure to let you all know.
All right, next up, we've got Gunvolt Records Cychronicle, I think is how that's...
It's a weird word.
Cychronicle.
It's a weird word.
And it's coming from the creators of Azure Striker Gunvolt Inti Creates. They announced a spinoff, and it is not a platformer. They will be releasing a new rhythm game called Gunvolt Records Cychronicle.
Yes.
So this new game will star the game's songstress Lumen, Lola, and Lucia. I think that's how, or is it
Luxia?
Lucia? It's probably
one of those. Yeah,
performing various songs from within the series, and we've got a trailer for it as well.
Gonna give you a heads up now. They're gonna feature songs from the series. Trailer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're video game songs, so we probably won't get hit.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, so rather than playing the platform game, this is now just like songs from the platform game. I think that's pretty interesting takes. Like, hey, listen, we've got this really popular platform game. We have a lot of great songs that have come from it. Why don't we make a rhythm game? And they did.
May as well. I mean, it seems to be working okay.
I actually, so I don't know how many people play rhythm games here, but I played rhythm games quite a bit. And I looked at the control, and you know what? It actually looks pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Like all the notes are right in the dead center, so you don't have to like look all over the place, all around your peripheral. So it looks like a pretty comfortable control system, if you will. So
that's good.
I'm actually pretty excited for this one.
I suck at rhythm games. Unless it involves a little plastic guitar.
I mean, I can't do that one, so hey. Yeah, they also have like scenes from the game. That's actually pretty good. Inti Create is making some interesting plays lately, especially since the success of the Gunvolt Striker. They've been Striker Gunvolt. They've been making some interesting games. They're just eating Capcom's lunch, because instead of Capcom releasing like good Mega Man games, they're like, yeah, you know what? We are gonna just make our own stuff now. Capcom, thanks. But it's okay. Capcom's like, whatever. We have Monster Hunter money. We don't need Mega Man. It's fine. You can have it. Yeah. All right.
So, you can expect to see this game on February 15th. On 2024 for the PS4, the PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X, S, Switch, and PC via Steam. Yeah, that's it.
Yes. All right. Now we're moving into one of the big, 3 game shows, starting with a smaller, much less known Playism game show, which I'm sure a lot of you are probably like, what? That's the thing? It was the thing. And we would have covered it last week if we had the show. There are a couple of games that I thought was pretty interesting that we want to show you today. Starting with a game called Journey Record. The Playism will be publishing the action-adventure game from QotW Create. The player will have to change perspective constantly between 2D and 3D in order to solve various puzzles in their adventure. I can sit here and keep trying to tell you what this is about, but you know what? I think we should just show you the trailer.
Okay, let's check it out.
It's way easier to explain once you see it for yourself.
That music's already pretty
Yeah. So you got this like 2D affair, you know, kind of like a DQ kind of like map, you know? And then there you go. Up. Yep.
All right.
So you constantly have to like change perspective, change directions even.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, and that's how you solve like puzzles all around.
Ooh, that
like it's an integral part of the gameplay.
Oh, so it's like it's Fez kind of.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty cool. I really dig the like old school like pixel art here. I think it's used very effectively.
That's really interesting,
right? Telling you, like a lot of these indie games, and good on Playism for publishing a lot of these indie games. Is like they're really testing different ways to play. Again, like whether or not you think that was a good idea or a bad idea, I just appreciate that they are trying new things. And who knows, if it works out, maybe some other studios will adopt something similar, right? But it kind of all starts from these, some of the most brilliant ideas now are coming from these like indie games. So that's why we're always on the lookout for them. So this one has no particular release window announced, but it will be coming to PC via Steam. So once we find out more, we'll be sure to let you all know if you're interested in stuff like this.
Sweet. Next up, Baku, are you a fan of maids?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Are you a fan of cafes and streets that are electric? Because get ready for Maid Cafe adventure game called Maid Cafe at Electric Street. After quitting a toxic job, the protagonist escapes to a rundown maid cafe in Nipponbashi, Osaka, where he becomes the cafe's temporary manager and runs the day-to-day operations. Let's see how this goes.
Let's take a look at this. Look, not gonna lie, I saw this game and I was like, this game looks really good. The art looks really good. And I think the setting is interesting.
Yeah. At a Maido cafe.
Yes, you work at a maid cafe. and you go on all sorts of adventure.
Oh God, what was the person who walked in? Some very colorful looking characters.
Yeah, I really like how they like all the portrait art, everything looks really good. So I want to know more about this game. I think it's supposed to be an adventure game where you have to like get to know all the characters to like sort of advance the story. So yeah, I don't know much more about this, but I'm looking forward to it. You get to travel around like Osaka, so I think it's pretty cool.
Hey, like there's coffee. Yeah. There's coffee in it, so you know
there's coffee in it. Like we've seen games where like they do a really good job recreating like real world places, right? Like I don't know, what's a really good like
Yakuza
Persona
7?
5, Yakuza, or Like a Dragon, or like Tokyo, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh yeah,
this is like a really nice recreation of a real place too, except just like in pixel art form. So I think it's really neat whenever they do a really good job in recreating. It almost feels like you're actually there. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Man, that looks really cool. Well, yeah, you can look forward to playing this sometime in 2024 on PC via Steam. No other platforms are announced at this time.
That's correct. Last but not least, we have a game called Refined Self, the personality test game. which is obviously also published by Playism because it's in the Playism game show. The personality test game is a very open game where you play as an android who will travel the world to discover important memories of their creator, known as simply as the Doctor, and discover their intended purpose. There's no right way or wrong way to progress the game. There are no game overs, and every action results in a personality analysis, and you get like the cumulative result at the end of the game. So it kind of encourages you to replay the game many times to see, what kind of results you get every time. So let's take a look at it. Yeah, I feel like this is more like an art piece than a typical game that you would think about. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's the android, and you basically just travel through this
clockwork. It looks like.
Yeah, you travel through this world. You talk to different people. You interact. You find out things about the Doctor, and then through doing different activities and talking to different people in different ways in different order, and answering things differently, you basically end up being having like a different like personality type. and they're showing that right now.
Man, I hope this replaces the Myers-Briggs.
Me too. It's like what even is like ENTP? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I am a hero. That's what I am. So yeah,
that sounds way better.
Right? So this game is coming out in November 2023, and I think I would definitely be playing this one. It's just a nice, relaxing feeling kind of game. You just kind of go and just, do stuff without any particular goal. It's very open. So I kind of appreciate that. Sometimes those games are the hardest ones to make. This is being released on PC via Steam and also on iOS and Android. And no, this is not a gacha game. Wouldn't that be crazy if this was a gacha game? Oh, you want your analysis? It's only going to be $5 every time you do an analysis of your personality. We'll send you a report. Have you ever gone to one of those like Myers-Briggs like website where you do the test? They're like, well, for only $20, we'll send you an extended report.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be crazy. But no, this is not a gacha game. This is just a game that is buy to play. You own it, and it just happens to also be on iOS and Android, which is pretty nice. So just throwing that out there.
BRB writing down a concept for a new gacha game.
Oh no.
Gotcha, catch 'em all. So that about does it for the Playism game show. But then Nintendo went and had a little direct, which again, just a reminder, I have not seen any of this. So question, how much do you know about the anime SPYx family? Do you pronounce the X when you say that?
No, it's just Spy Family.
It's just Spy Family?
Yeah,
okay.
Spy Family, yeah.
Okay. See, it's kind of like that with Hunter x Hunter, right? But
yes,
I'm never sure because it's like, why is there even an X there? Or is it cross? Who knows?
It's probably cross, but like, yeah, I've always said Hunter x Hunter for the longest time until like someone corrected me. It's like, actually, it's Hunter x Hunter. The X is not pronounced. I was like, well, I guess it's high time that someone tells me that like 30 years after the manga. Well, like 20 years.
Well,
yeah.
I know for sure that Hunter x Hunter is incredible, and I've heard some really great things about Spy Family.
Spy Family's amazing. Love it. Yeah.
And I'm sure that I'll get a lot of corrections in the comments for anything that I get wrong here. But I will say that this series is getting a new game here announced by Bandai Namco. They announced something no one expected. A new game based off of that hit manga and anime series Spy Family. In this super adorable game, Anya is assigned, I hope I pronounced that right, is assigned to create a photo diary for school, and the player will see and interact with the world of Spy Family through the eyes of Anya.
This is absolutely the most incredibly adorable game that came out of Nintendo Direct. I don't care who says what. This game is fire.
Oh, I did say it right. Anya. Okay.
Yeah, it is Anya.
See, I should probably watch this show at some point. I hear so many good things.
It's freaking hilarious, this show. I think this is kind of like a Shinjan kind of game, except like with Anya, you know.
And what kind of photo diary will you help Anya make? SPYxANYA Operation Memories launches on Nintendo Switch next year.
All right, well that's fun.
Super duper cute.
All right, so yeah, you can expect to play that in 2024, and it's coming to PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch and PC via Steam.
That's right. And just for everyone, you know, like these trailers are coming from Nintendo Direct, but if they are released like in other platform, we'll let you know that it's not just for the Switch. Unlike this game that we're about to talk about. So Nintendo is bringing us the remix of the point and click like cult classic game, Another Code 2 Memories and Another Code R, A Journey into Lost Memories. A lot of memories going on. So Another Code 2 Memories will have the player travel to Blood Edward Island as a 13-year-old Ashley in search of her father. Whereas the second game in this package is called Another Code R, A Journey into Lost Memories. This is a game that was actually never released in North America. So this is actually being released for the first time. We have Ashley travel to Lake Juliet 2 years after the events of 2 Memories to uncover the truth about her mother this time. And this collection is called Another Code Recollection. And we've got a trailer to kind of show you what this game's about. So yeah, let's take a look.
I've actually never heard of this game or series before.
Me neither, until people kept telling me that, oh yeah, this game was in like whatever system and like it's like a cult classic kind of deal. And like I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty neat. Like, you know, I do appreciate something like this because it feels like they're not releasing games that are just popular. Like there are some games that are, you know, maybe not as don't have as much like mass market appeal, but nonetheless are beloved by people who really enjoyed it and is still there spending time and money to try to make like a, let's say, a more modern version of it at least. I appreciate it. You know, it's not the prettiest, best looking thing, you know, possible,
sure,
but it's certainly more, what's the word?
I think it looks really cool so far.
It looks good to me. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's not state of the art graphics, right? But
sure,
it doesn't matter. Like it's a beloved game that is now accessible. That's the word I was going for. It's now accessible. So there you go. You know, and again, the second game, which is Another Code R, which you will see. Yeah, this is Another Code. So Ashley is slightly older here, 15 years old. This was never released in North America, so this is actually being released for the first time. So pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. This is being released in January 19th next year, only on the Switch.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I have another game that's also going to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive. As far as I can tell, I mean, it hasn't been announced for other platforms yet. And well, Nintendo has finally revealed a rumored game to star Princess Peach, and it is called Princess Peach Showtime. And I know nothing about it, so let's check this out.
The trailer will tell you a lot more than anything we can write. They basically outlined this. Like they did a really good job explaining the game.
All right, what do we got here? Princess Peach got a thing from.
Presented a flyer advertising a show at the Sparkle Theater.
Okay.
Princess Peach and some toads went to go see it, but then.
Of course, the bad guy shows up.
The Wicked Grape and the Sour Bunch suddenly made their grand entrance and took center stage.
Huh.
Now it's up to Peach.
And she lost her crown.
It looks like it.
To save the play and the day.
That's the first thing I noticed too.
This perfect performance has become a terrible tragedy.
I think it looks really
Peach
cool.
Can use the power of Stella's ribbon to face off against the Sour Bunch.
Huh.
So that's her little gimmick. She gets to use the ribbon instead of like throwing a top hat.
So
Okay.
let's do this.
I can kind of dig it.
But there's other stuff.
Whoa, Peach transformed into Sword Fighter Peach.
What?
We were talking about like when we're gonna get Peach, Sword Fighter Peach on Smash Bro.
Oh man.
And people can get mad because it's another sword user.
Can Peach use performance and its performance?
You did what? Another sword user?
I think a fencing.
Unbelievable.
I think a fencer would be a little bit different from your typical Smash sword user.
I mean, Nuance is always lost to Angry Bros online, you know?
True. Oh,
But
Angry
fencing
Bros.
swords are
Sounds like the
different.
worst mobile game ever.
Angry Bros.
Desserts have been snacked.
Just slingshot them off into various constructs.
We get like the Reddit aesthetics of the game. Different sub-posts, different stages. Yeah.
Ooh.
You got this like Kung Fu Master Peach.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. I think this game so far is looking really good. Not a game that I probably play personally, but if I was like 10 years old, I'd play the heck out of, you know, games like these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like action platformer kind of deal. Loved these games when I was growing up, so I might get this for my nephew because they like the Mario games.
Yeah.
They're age appropriate for them.
Well, it's definitely caught my interest.
Yeah.
Probably not going to personally play it like you said, but
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what that also reminds me of, like, but being able to transform into like different modes for like different abilities in different areas, almost seems like a, you know, action adventure kind of game, you know?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like it could be another game in the vein of like a classic Zelda style, only featuring Princess Peach.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
It's clearly got kind of a
it.
fixed camera angle kind of deal rather than being able to, you know, but it looks kind of like a, yeah, little bit more action adventure-y. I kind of dig it.
You know what I was thinking? Like the theater and like going into different rooms feels like Mario 64 in the castle. When you go into different worlds. That's what I was get the feeling that I was getting from this. So yeah, maybe something in between. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely keeping an eye on that. So yeah, you can expect to play it in March of 2024 on the Nintendo Switch. So
Isn't
far,
it crazy that we're already talking about games for like next year and like March and on all that.
I know,
like
6 months
time
away.
Flies.
It does.
Time flies. All right. Well, here's the next game that I actually suspected. So when we talked about like what do we expect from TGS, I actually said this. I said, you know, I expect there to be a new SaGa title because I looked at the Square Enix lineup and they had this suspicious block of time just for the SaGa series, and I'm like, are they gonna have a new SaGa like title, right? And turns out I was right. There's a new SaGa title, and the new title is called SaGa Emerald Beyond. This title will be a turn-based RPG featuring 5 choices in protagonists, and you'll see why I use those exact wordings in just a second when we see the trailer, and 17 worlds to traverse to, which I'm actually kind of excited because that kind of reminds me of like a SaGa Frontier kind of deal. So let's take a look at the trailer.
Okay, let's pull that up here.
A new saga begins.
New SaGa begins.
A multi-layered RPG full of rich stories awaits in SaGa Emerald Beyond. There are 6 heroes to choose from.
I like the art.
A young man who
So
fights
you got the Puppet Master. That's hero choice number 1.
a witch disguised as a schoolgirl.
A witch who disguises as a 11-year-old school student.
Okay.
And then see, this is the 3rd choice, but it's actually a duel of characters. You see.
Oh, I see.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't want to be confusing. There are 5 choices, but 6 characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Select a hero.
Yeah. So you get to
and follow
pick,
their
you
journey
know,
through 17
which one to
interconnected
go
worlds
with.
as they strive to achieve their goals.
So they still got that weird like map thing. I don't know if how much I like it. This is the part that I really didn't like, which is like a static like comic talk scene that I didn't care for. But I wasn't too impressed when I first saw this during the show, I'm not gonna lie, but upon watching it again, I'm feeling a lot better about it. Especially since I compared the art between this and Scarlet Gray's.
Scarlet Gray's, that's it.
Yeah, this looks way better than Scarlet Gray's. Scarlet Gray's got this weird like body proportion that's not quite like they got a super realistic looking face, but the body proportion is like off, and it drove me crazy. This time, they're still retaining the more realistic looking like facial features, but this time the body proportion is actually like correct.
A little bit more realistic. Yeah,
a little bit more realistic. I'm just like, look, it's either you go realistic or you don't. Like Scarlet Gray's drove me crazy, but this looks a lot better. The more I look at it, the more I feel good about the game.
And it's a turn-based RPG coming from Squaresoft or Square Enix.
It's a mid-budget, not like a AAA. It's a mid-budget turn-based RPG.
And this is kind of where
stop complaining.
I feel like Square Enix has been nailing it lately. Is that like mid-low budget action? Well, not action, turn-based RPG. So let's see how it does.
Let's see how it does. So. This game, again, just it gives me really strong SaGa Frontier vibe. So I'm like, if this is like a SaGa Frontier, successor, I'm all for it. I'd be super excited to play like a modern SaGa Frontier title. It's expected to come out early 2024. Here's the part that I don't like. It is digital only from what has been announced so far.
Well, keep your eyes on Playisms.
And it's available on PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC, and interestingly, iOS and Android. And because of Square Enix's track record, I had to look into this, and so far there's no indication that this is a free-to-play title. It just happens that it's available on PC and iOS. So, good news for our folks who likes to game and play RPGs on their phones. This may be a title for you.
That's interesting. Could you imagine them? What do you suspect this kind of game would sell for? Like 35, 40, 45 bucks? Or are you thinking like a full price game? It's hard to say, but would you spend full price dollars on a iOS game? Or an Android
I have
phone?
no other console. If I have no other console to play, maybe.
Yeah.
That's tricky. Like that's my only choice.
I can't imagine like as of where I am right now in my life, I can't imagine spending more than like $6 on a game on my phone. But I'm curious to see like, would that ever happen? Would a AAA game ever release on a smartphone for like $60-$70?
I doubt it, but stranger things has happened in life, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We've talked about Vanillaware a little bit earlier in the day, talking about games that were inspired by them. But here's another game that's being made by them. The developers behind Odin's Sphere and 13 Sentinels just announced their newest title. This game, a gorgeous tactical RPG called Unicorn Overlord.
Yes.
You want to check out the trailer?
Oh, I want you to see this one. This is the one that got my attention, like, throughout the entire show. Like, I was most hyped about this.
All right, let's see.
Tale which speaks of Fevrith, one of stolen destiny, stolen minds, and stolen nations.
It's got, like, ogre battle written all over it in the battle, like, sequences. Oh, yeah. So it's like real time on map, you move, and then like if you run into things, they battle, right?
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, it's not like a straight like 1-to-1, of course, but
sure.
Yeah. So you go in, you see how like the character, there's like a character placement, and then they attack certain like areas. It's like cool. Battle. It's like ogre battle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never played an ogre battle before, but that looks cool.
Doesn't that look amazing though?
Man, Vanillaware's art always always looks good.
Always.
Like I'm not a big fan of like a lot of like the paper doll style of art, but they clearly do a lot of original art for every frame. You know?
Mm-hmm.
God, that looks good.
I know. The rebirth of tactical fantasy RPG. I was like, yo, wow. That's a bold statement. But if it's from Vanillaware, I'll take it, you know?
Yeah, dude, that is so cool. Strategy RPG fans and tactics RPGs fans have been eating good this year, and holy cow, man.
Oh yeah. Cannot wait to see this game come out.
Yeah, so it's coming out on March 8th for the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S, and Switch as well. You can also order or pre-order the standard and collector's edition that's already taking pre-orders. The collector's edition will feature 2 16-bit arranged music albums, a 132-page art book, and
that is not a typo.
Wow. And
that is not I've checked multiple times.
And an original card game with 239 cards within it. That's a thick stack of cards.
It's a big it's like a full-fledged like tabletop game.
It's going to include tokens and markers as well. So
I am 100% buying that. I think just given Vanillaware's like art and whatnot, I think this thing is going to appreciate over time. I just really think so. I've seen their stuff. They make good stuff.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye out on that as things progress.
Yeah, pre-order is already out. Go get it, guys. As of like right before the show, I was checking it. Like it's still open. It hasn't sold out. It's not one of those situations like, I don't know, Persona it just sells out like instantly.
Yeah, luckily this is about niche enough that there's going to be a little bit of time before it sells out. But probably not much.
It's like a new IP. People are not sure about it. Chances are it's not going to sell out like something as proven as like Persona, right? But I think Persona 3, the special edition sold out in like minutes. And the only thing that was left was the Xbox version because no one, plays RPG on Xbox apparently. But yeah, I think that also sold out subsequently.
Yep. After you mentioned during an episode that it's like you could just buy it and then get rid of the game itself and buy the standard game for whatever platform.
Yeah. Also, just because I'm seeing this in chat, Atlas been the publisher of Vanillaware games for like the last couple of titles. So this is not like a first collab. Like Atlas been pretty consistent in publishing Vanillaware games. Like they develop games but don't self-publish. Yeah, Odin Sphere, 13 Sentinels, that's all Atlas. So it's pretty good. All right. So next up, I've been looking
forward to this.
Oh yeah. Super Derek is super excited about this one, right?
Indeed.
Cannot hold back his hype. Developer Rabbit and Bear Studio just gave us the release date of Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes and a new trailer during the Nintendo Direct. Let's take a look at that trailer first and then we'll give you some more details.
Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh. It looks good. I was only more hype about Unicorn because it's a brand new game. Doesn't mean I wasn't hype about this. I was hype about this.
Army of over 100 heroes into battle and put an end to an empire's invasion.
Like I already knew this is gonna be great, so there's only so much more hype you can push out of me on this one, right? So there are 3 protagonists. I thought it was going to be 2 protagonists, but I was wrong. There's 3 protagonists. RGB.
Cool. That makes sense, sure.
RGB.
Yep.
See? RGB.
Yep.
There's a headquarter, everybody. For all you doubters out there.
Yeah.
Totally a headquarter, okay?
I thought that was like one of the goals for the Kickstarter was like...
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I bought on to the Kickstarter like within the first 2 days, and then I never looked at it again.
Same here.
Like, you tell me when the game is available to play. I don't need to know anything else. Oh God, that graphics looks so good.
Man, that is awesome.
My only hope is that these are not all like cherry picked and everything else just looks like doo-doo, right? But like, I don't have reasons to believe that's the case. I have reasons to believe that this game just looks this good. So
yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man.
As am I. And so should everybody in the chat right now. This game is coming out again. They gave us the release date. It is April 23rd, 2024. So
clear your calendars.
Still some time away, but you know.
When's the last time that you like took time off to play a brand new game?
I don't. I just play during work.
Oh, that's smart.
I'm kidding. Oh my God, I'm kidding. No, unfortunately I can't because I need my PTO days so I can travel abroad. Because you know, every time I go to Asia it's like 2 weeks to a month. So, but if there was a game, okay, that I would take time off for, it probably would be this. So yeah, so April 23rd, you know, if my boss is watching, I hope not. I marked off that day. I was sick. I just know that I'm going to be sick on April 23rd. Yeah. So related to that, of course, well, actually, hold on, let me just complete that first. It's being released on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Switch, and PC, so there's no reason for you to not play this game unless you only game on your phone, and I'm so sorry, but if you have any modern console at all, you should be able to play this game. And if you backed the game, okay, years ago, I think it was like what, 2021 when this
feels like it.
Yeah, so if you backed the game years ago, be on the lookout for an email from Yeti, Yetee. Okay, they're reaching out to backers now to select the platform and region.
I forgot I need to do that.
Yeah, see?
Thanks for the reminder. I saw it come through and I'm just like, I'll deal with that later. And then promptly forgot I got the email.
This is why you guys watched HitPoint. You know, so you get these friendly reminders from your neighborhood Baku and Derek. So check your emails, respond to Yeti's backer survey, basically. You might have chosen the platform to begin with, but you also need to choose your region and whatnot. I had actually just done it today as I was writing this docket. So I'm also guilty. Have your backer number ready when you respond to it. Okay, so just make sure you have that. Okay, so in completely unrelated news, Konami have announced the release date of the Suikoden Rebirth. Just kidding. No, they have not. But we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, but this is in completely unrelated news. At the Nintendo Direct, we got a DLC revealed to us for the indie title Eastward and a trailer to go with it. And the name of that is Octopia. Let's see. Yeah, let's check this out. Eastward is a beautiful and super charming indies title, as you can see from, you know, the artwork.
Oh man, I still need to play this game. I snagged a copy off of PlayAsia, physical release. But I still haven't.
I've heard amazing things from Eastward.
Yeah,
like every person who's played it had told me that, like, oh man, you got to play this. This is a really good title. It's like, I'll get to it. Well, maybe now's a good time because the DLC is coming out.
Yeah,
at some point.
So, as you can see, that this DLC is basically gonna add on a farming sim kind of DLC where Sam and John can travel to a mountainside village called Octopia, where they will repair and revitalize the town.
Yes.
So, you know, something completely unrelated to, I think, the original plot of Eastward, but hey, that's super cool.
Absolutely no relations.
Yeah.
So apparently this is set in a parallel world. So yeah. they've stated that this is like a parallel world with no miasma. So you don't even need to complete the main game to get to this game. All you have to do is get the DLC and just go to the main menu, and you can actually just play this Octopia without playing the main game at all.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just an alternate mode of play of the game. So yeah, you can expect to play that sometime in 2023 winter. So you know, sometime within the next 5 or 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And it's going to be coming out for the Nintendo Switch and PC via Steam.
All right. This last announcement from Nintendo Direct has gotten a lot of people very excited and sparked lots of reactions, like videos on YouTube, like countless. Like every one of these games had some kind of reaction video on YouTube. This one takes the cake. Nintendo would be remaking Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, an RPG that was originally released on GameCube back in 2004. That's like 20 years ago, man. Let's take a look at that trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't gotta tell me twice.
Yeah.
I loved
not my most stoked game, but
I loved it. I loved it on GameCube. Yeah. I already want to play it.
This is the most stoked game for everybody else, though.
This is one of the best Paper Marios ever released. Which isn't really saying a whole heck of a lot. It is one of the 2 good Paper Marios ever released. And I hope that... Oh, that looks pretty. I hope that this inspires Nintendo to do more RPGs.
Paper Mario RPGs.
Of this style.
Yeah.
It's such a fun game. You know, surprisingly, it doesn't look all that different from what I remember, but I think that's probably to be expected.
You know what? Like, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, the graphics were already pretty paper thin to begin with, but...
like, that might be a pretty good thing. So, remember how there's that, like, Dragon Ball, like, Z fighter game from Axis? So one of their challenges when they were making that game is, how can we make this game where each of the characters do their super moves and stuff, like the Kamehameha, and it will just remind them of what the anime is like, even though the anime graphics looks drastically worse. What we're trying to recreate is, how do people remember this thing?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that's kind of what they successfully did. Yeah, this looks a lot better, but
you can definitely tell some of like the like fringing around the paper itself, like around Mario's glove, for instance. You can see like a little bit of that extra light hitting like the upper edge. So despite it being 2D, it actually has a very thin third dimension.
Oh, that's true.
So you can definitely see that in some of like the lighting. Like they're made of cardstock instead of just being like, you know,
flat.
2D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think that looks nice too. But
this is beady eye peach. Will you teach me this feel you call love? Oh man. Yeah. It looks great. It looks great.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited for folks. Well, actually, you know, I might actually try this game out. I didn't have a GameCube until like much later on, and by then I just like didn't really play anything on it. Actually, I just got it just so I have it. And now honestly, I don't even have it anymore.
I don't know if there's enough changed here to like actually get me to want to pick this up. Like, it's exciting that it's being remade, but I'm like it unless it introduces new things besides just like the widescreen support and a little bit more dimension to it. If it doesn't do much more than that, I'm content to just keep playing my GameCube copy whenever the mood strikes. But, but making it accessible to people who don't want to spend, you know, $60, $70 on
an ungodly amount of money for a 20-year-old game.
Yeah. And I said, well, spend $60, $70, but it's like, wait a second, that's what they're going to charge me anyway. Exactly.
Exactly.
But at least you'll have like the widescreen support and all the new amenities, and yeah, Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty rad.
Yeah. All right.
Is it coming out on any other platforms, or is it?
I'm sorry. No, it's yeah. Switch 2. Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge. Gotcha.
Nudge, nudge. Yeah. It is coming out in 2024. Only on the Switch so far. We'll see about Switch 2.
Well, all right. Next up, we've got the Sony State of Play to talk about, and somehow I ended up with this one. Capcom will be releasing new DLC for Resident Evil 4, starring Ada Wong in a new campaign called Separate Ways, which will allow players to take control of Ada as she infiltrates the village concurrently as Leon attempts to rescue the president's daughter, Ashley.
Ashley.
Yes. Where's my button? There it is. All right, let's check this out.
We do want to skip a little bit because the beginning is just the. I'll skip through.
Okay.
The beginning is the VR for Resident Evil 4.
Oh, okay.
The latter half is.
And we don't care about VR.
Yeah, we don't care about VR. Yeah.
I mean, I would probably care about VR if I had the fundage to get a headset and all that.
So basically, this campaign, as you're seeing, so Leon is infiltrating the village to rescue Ashley.
Yep.
But Ada's on a different mission. So the time frame is Leon is going through, and you get a separate point of view of what transpired in the village, so to speak, through Ada's point of view.
I love being able to do stuff like this in games. One of the concepts that I always had, going back to when I first wanted to be a video game designer, years and years ago, I wanted to see a remake or a DLC sort of thing for Ocarina of Time from the perspective of Zelda, aka Sheik, and their side, seeing their side of the story unfold. So being able to see that happen in this game from Capcom is pretty dang sick.
What do you mean? You play as Zelda in Zelda games. What do you mean? The guy, the blonde guy with the green outfit. That's
Dude,
Zelda,
could you
right?
imagine if Zelda was a girl?
Can you imagine if Zelda was a girl? Why would you name the game after the person that you're not playing as? That wouldn't make any sense, guys. Come on.
Anyway, so cool thing about this DLC is that it is coming out, in about 4 days on the 21st, and it's coming to all supported platforms.
Yes, I am super stoked because guess what I'm playing for Spooktober? Resident Evil 4, and now I got more things to look forward to. I already have the game. I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
Awesome.
All right. Next up, we have yet another DLC, and this is probably something that we really didn't expect to see. This time is for Tales of Arise, called Beyond the Dawn, which is a direct sequel to the base game, and will feature a new character named Nazamil. So here's a little snippet from the Tales producer, Yusuke Tomizawa, who said in a PlayStation blog, since the release of Arise, we've received many requests from people who have enjoyed the main story for a continuation of the story, and the development team has had in-depth discussions and deliberations on what kind of significance and appeal would be necessary if we were to seriously go beyond the original story. It was also a way for us to reflect on what Arise was for us. See, get it? Beyond the Dawn. Okay. Yusuke also mentioned that this game will have something like 20 hours worth of gameplay. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So let's take a look at that trailer.
All right, let's.
1 year has passed since the end of the great conflict.
So it's 1 year after the events of Tales of Arise.
Is this going to be a spoilery for anybody who?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, other than the good guys are okay.
Survived.
Yeah.
Is that a spoiler?
There are details that I could have said that would have been a spoiler for dang sure. But I cut all those out.
Nice to meet ya.
Good.
Just
deal.
know that there's a character named Nazamel. That's all you need to know.
All right.
And that this is the sequel 1 year after.
That certainly looks like Tales of Arise.
Are you hungry? If you are,
I can't still
it's
have
always
not
such a
played this
beautiful
game.
Really?
I still have not played this game.
Yeah, I've played the demo back when that was first released, and I thought it was beautiful. I played it on PS4 because I didn't have a PS5 yet.
I don't get it. Whose side are you on anyway?
Yeah, I kind of like what Tales does with the sequels sometimes. When they get it right anyways. Where they kind of explore what happens after like you've saved the world, right? They do it right sometimes. Like Xillia 2 I didn't particularly care for, but it kind of challenges the idea of like, well, you played an RPG, right? We play RPGs. We fight the last boss. The world's a better place before then we started the journey. The world's moving towards healing. Everything is all good and dandy and fine. But is it?
Is it really? Yeah.
Is it really?
Like, the world is
yeah.
really destabilized usually after a lot of these sort of events.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I love that they explore like what actually happens. What are the remaining conflicts, right? After the hero has saved the day and saved the world, is it truly better? What are the new challenges that comes up?
Well,
that's
everybody
what this
lived
game
happily
is gonna be
ever
like.
after. They all
Yeah,
got
sure.
a puppy, and world peace was established forever henceforth.
Yeah. So really looking forward to seeing this DLC, which will be coming a bit later in November 9th on all supported platforms. So not that far from now, really. I mean, blink of an eye, November, boom. I'll be in Japan, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Ooh.
now it's time for something a little bit different. So last but not least, we have a firm release date to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and a brand spanking new trailer, which I still haven't seen yet.
New trailer.
Creative director Tetsuya Nomura revealed in a PlayStation blog post that Rebirth will cover the events of the game from the party leaving Midgar to arriving at the City of Ancients' forgotten capital. Oh.
Yeah. In case anyone wonders how long the game will be, like, you know, how much content, like, here we are. This is what it is.
Okay. It is also important to note that the places the party will visit may be in a different order than in the original version. And we've got that trailer, so let's check this out.
Yes. 3-minute trailer, worth it.
Yeah. Now, I've also read elsewhere that apparently this game is going to be about 3 times the length of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Interesting.
Yeah, it says that they're like aiming for like 100 hours of content, essentially, which is quite a bit.
I do have something that I need to add to this, but I'll get to it after we finish this.
All right.
Yeah.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters? Am I even human?
Oh, this is when Sephiroth went cuckoo.
We're looking for Sephiroth. Think you can find him?
It was always a little weird, but
Sephiroth, you say?
it was when he went to Niflheim that he like really went like.
I wonder if Ketchy's gonna say his name correctly.
You know.
They're our best chance.
And also Cloud's a mall cop now.
Yeah, I ask because I suspect there's soldiers suffering from cellular degradation.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth!
Oh man.
Come on,
I wonder if Cerberus is going to be available in this.
That's a good question.
They don't show him yet, or at least they haven't yet.
Yes. Also, Sephiroth is playable in this game.
Sweet.
Alexander is here. Hello.
Ba-da-da-da.
We've got boy Odin here. We've got Golden Sorcerer. Hello.
Oh man, can't wait to romance.
Gold Sorcerer. Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to romance Barrett.
Got more dancing.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I know. Those mini games.
Excuse me.
Nice little throwback.
Look after my
Yep.
friend, just for a bit.
What? Zach?
Some dude with a beard.
Aaron?
Tutelary creatures.
No.
Said only to appear when the planet is in grave danger.
Oh, is that weapon?
I wonder who this is.
Who's
I've
that?
never seen this guy before.
I don't know. It looks like Alucard.
Yeah. Who even sleeps in a coffin?
Well, I mean, if you were in a coffin, what else would you do?
I mean, if that's
besides
the only
like try to
place I
get
can
out,
sleep in it. All right,
that looks pretty dang cool.
That looks pretty good.
I mean, it's obviously it's going to be different from Final Fantasy VII, but you can still play Final Fantasy VII if you don't like it. I am going to go ahead and look forward to this and enjoy it when it comes out. Pre-order is now open. It's coming out on the 29th of February on PlayStation 5. Yeah, you've got multiple tiers with a pre-order, as you would. Let's see. We got a standard edition, which has the game as itself. The deluxe edition, which comes with an art book, a mini soundtrack, and a steelbook case. Oh my god! And the collector's edition comes with it is $350 US. You can get the deluxe edition plus a 48 centimeter tall Sephiroth static arts figure. And some additional DLCs. Square Enix revealed that players with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Intermission save data on their PS5 can get the Leviathan and Rama summon materia respectively.
Yes. So basically, if you played Remake and Intermission, just make sure that the save data is on PS5. You get these Leviathan and Rama summon materia when you start the Rebirth game.
I played on PS4. Yeah. Is there a way to like import that to my PS5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a little tedious. I'd say try to do it like ASAP.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, the upgrade is free from the PlayStation 4 version of the game to PS5, so you just need to like go and do it, and it takes a little bit because the instruction is kind of meh. But yeah, no, I absolutely transferred it. It just took a little finagling, but I got it done in, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes.
All right. Yeah, that'll work.
So something that I will bring up, which is related to this, and it's kind of interesting. So I was watching the State of Play on Twitch, on stream. And we got to the beginning of the trailer where Aerith walks out and she said a thing. There's like a quote in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that was clearly missing in the English version of the original remake ending, where Aerith sees the sky and then she says something about steel sky, how she misses it. Which I pointed out to people multiple occasions that in the Japanese edition, she said, "Oh, the sky, I hate it." Like it's not even remotely the same, right?
Yeah.
So when we saw in this trailer in English, they've corrected it.
Oh.
Aerith now says, "The sky, I hate it." Wow. So if anyone ever asks me why I listen to English voice acting, this is the why.
Super cool.
Things like this. You know?
Yeah.
I don't trust localization.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
It's good that they were able to make the correction for this, I think.
Yeah, correction maybe. We'll see why. I mean, I still don't know what it means. It's a little cryptic, but best is to stick to the original script.
All right.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for all these new game announcements, man. What's the one that got you the most excited?
Oh man. Okay. What? I feel like I have the memory of a goldfish. Let me look back through everything here.
Okay.
Oh, Eiyuden Chronicle.
And Eiyuden Chronicle. Okay.
And I think Unicorn Overlord also. Like the two of them are definitely like the highest tiers of hype from this list so far.
Oof.
What do you think?
Not Resident Evil? You sure? I thought.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, you like Resident Evil?
yeah. My list did not change.
Totally.
This changes nothing.
I did a poll on Twitter. Twitter. I refuse to call it X. It's Twitter.
Yep.
And the people have I basically asked like who did it better, Nintendo or Sony, right? Yeah. And I think three-quarter of the people said Nintendo, and only a quarter of people said Sony. And I guess I can see why.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the things that like you and I are really interested in, especially the things that only I am interested in, we got one thing, and that is a game that we already kind of knew about. So that's fine, you know, and they got to save something for TGS, I'm sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next week.
But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I think that it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and the fact that it's going to be a much longer experience, I think that should appease a lot of the people who are like, you know, this is only like a seventh of the game or something.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely. I like basically all the state of play stuff that we covered anyways. I mean, state of play had a lot more other things that I just couldn't be bothered with, but these three things I'm personally very interested in. Resident Evil 4, I'm just gonna play it when it comes out for October, for Spooktober. Tales of Arise is great because I haven't played it yet, so I don't feel like, oh, I played a game, not to come back and like, you know, relearn everything. No, just play straight through, kind of like what I did for Xenoblade 3, right? Super awesome. And then Rebirth, Rebirth just looks good, so I'll play it when I play it. But Nintendo's got me the most surprised.
Yeah,
like Anya coming out. Like what?
That's cool.
There's an Anya game? Like what? You know, Princess Peach looks cool. I won't play it.
That did
a
look
new
cool.
SaGa game and I love SaGa Frontier. However unfinished and janky it is, I like it with all the flaws. And SaGa Emerald Beyond looks like a modern take. In what I've seen so far, it looks like a modern take of SaGa Frontier, so definitely looking forward to it. Unicorn Overlord, no one knew that was coming. The nowhere is just like, there's a little thing that we've been working on for the last couple of years. Enjoy.
Yep, we're gonna just revolutionize the strategy RPG genre. It says, or revive, or what was the phrase? I
like how much shade they throw at people. The rebirth of tactical RPG.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm like, so it's
big
been
words.
dead, is what you're saying? Like,
yeah,
you needed to come with the rebirth because all those other things are just dead to you. Good job, Vanillaware. I like the subtle shade. Eiyuden Chronicles, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And then Paper Mario. You know, maybe I'll
really
play
cool
for the first time. Yeah. So just all these crazy news, man. I'm super happy. And you know what's my favorite part of all this, Mr. Derek?
What's that?
Since they talked about so many of these games already, my TGS write-up is probably going to be shorter.
I know. Let's hope this is going to be
better.
Let's hope this is going to be 2 incredibly packed, like back-to-back episodes of HitPoint. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, because we have not heard much from like Atlas lately, I think. I mean, we got a little bit from this Vanillaware. Yeah, Persona. Yeah,
Persona 3.
Sure. But where's Persona 6, dang it? You know.
I don't think they're going to announce Persona 6 this year.
And where's
I don't think they
Capcom?
will.
Where's the Breath of Fire collection that they've promised me?
Personally, they wrote to you.
Yeah, off the table, off the
table.
record. They've totally promised me Breath of Fire remake and collection. Totally joking. Do not do not get your hypes up there on that.
Oh, people are so clipping you right now. They're so clipping you right now.
Of course.
And take this completely out of context and just post it everywhere. Well, Derek said it's coming.
Man. Oh yeah.
I trusted the man.
Yeah, there's a This is why you can't trust YouTubers.
Exactly.
So
yeah, no, I am super excited. Which brings us to industry news. Conveniently, and really the only real piece of industry news. I was gonna talk a little bit about Unity, but I just feel like there's not a whole lot. There's no unique take that we can necessarily add in. So whatever you read on the internet, it's what it is. But I do want to remind folks that the Tokyo Game Show, since we're talking about that, is this weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to take place between September 21st and September 24th over in, well, you guessed it, Tokyo. Actually, I think it takes place in Chiba, which is not Tokyo proper. It's kind of strange, but whatever.
Okay.
You don't care. It's
Chiba Game Show.
Yeah. Chiba Game Show. Now, here's the deal with this, right? Like, if this Nintendo Direct and this State of Play didn't happen, all those things that we would have talked about, it would have to roll into TGS along with anything else that didn't appear.
Yeah.
You imagine how long that show would be? It would be everything we talk about today, plus like maybe that same amount. It would be double the length. So, hey, pretty good. We're still looking forward to seeing what you all think will show up in TGS. So, keep that. We're basically extending question of the week to question of like 3 weeks. What are some of the predictions? What are some things that you think will show up? Let us know in the comments. And also, this is just a personal question from me. What are the most exciting things that you've seen from the Nintendo Direct and State of Play? What got you excited the most? What got you wanting to buy a Hype Responsibly t-shirt to remind you to hype responsibly? Let us know in the comments.
That's a phenomenal question there, Baku. Great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pick up that t-shirt.
Speaking of merch, though, we do have also a little bit of a merch announcement.
That's right. So yeah, if you don't mind scrolling over to my screen,
sure.
I'll show you guys some cool merch.
This is actually super, super cool.
Yeah, so we've got let's see here. We've got Super Groupies, which you guys should know what they are about by now. It's like they're a fashion brand, and they've got the Persona 5 collection. So hey, if you care about Persona 5, you can check that out. They've got the Like a Dragon collection. So again, if that's something you're into, check it out. I personally am a big fan, so I might look at it. But the really cool thing is actually this. I saw that and I was like, hey, Derek, would you get it?
I would.
I
so would. Undoubtedly.
Modeled pocket watch. And if you are a fan of the Trail series and you've got money to spare and you just really want a pocket watch shaped like an Ortman whatever device,
I don't need it.
An oval device, you totally don't need it.
I don't,
but you want it.
Dude, I so want that. It looks so good. Oh,
it's only a
God.
cool $300. So if you thought, oh, that Sephiroth thing was a little too pricey, that was $350 with the game. This is just straight up $300.
I know. Oh my God. That would complete my Olivier cosplay perfectly, though. That,
it would.
Oh,
it would.
God.
I mean, it looks really cool. It's also $300.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay. But can I just say this, though? Maybe this will make you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that Terra figure that was $12,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's expensive compared to that anymore, right?
This sounds downright reasonable all of a sudden. I mean,
there you go.
Who needs a paycheck?
That's what I've been saying to people a lot. They're like, "Oh, gee, that seems very pricey." I'm like, "Did you know that there's a Final Fantasy VI statue that costs $12,000?" They're like, $12,000. I'm like, $12,000. The shipping is $1,000. Yeah. So they're like,
$12,000. Like, they don't even include like free shipping.
Exactly. That's insane, right?
Yeah.
Well, probably insurance too. I would imagine you have to buy insurance for that, right? Shipping insurance. It kind of comes in like a double wooden crate, with all kinds of exotic material to keep it from like even moving a millimeter while shipping. Perfectly protected. But yeah, the Orban model, that's only $300. Whatever.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
It doesn't even break 4 digits.
Wait a second.
Don't exaggerate.
Did that only come with 3 quartz installed though? Hang on a second. Let me switch back. Only 3 quartzes.
Only 3.
Let me switch back to your screen here. I want to see that again. Oh, that's so pretty.
Only 3.
Only
but look
3
at the
though.
inside.
Oh my god.
I think the inside is where it really shines. The outside, the outside is pretty, but the inside, it's the inside that matters, Derek.
It is what's inside that counts. That is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you pre-order now, you get it in April.
Oh gosh, the thing is, like that amount of like brass and tooling is probably they could sell this thing for probably $50 and make a good profit, but because it's a collector's edition based on a tie-in, they have to.
Yeah, they probably do like smaller like orders. You know what I mean? Like they're not doing like a crazy mass like order. So there's also that.
Oh man!
But
time to sell out. Here's the solution. If you need it, just sell off all of your old armor and clothing that you're not wearing at this exact moment in time,
and buy this pocket watch instead.
Yeah, that always works for me in the Trail series. You just sell off everything except for what the shirt on your back.
Yeah, exactly. You need this. You need the Ortman pocket watch.
I mean, it'll make the rest of your life so much easier that it'll just pay back itself over a short amount of time.
Are there more items? There are more items. Oh, they're the actual watches, Reen watches. They're actual watches too.
Oh, are there?
Reen. Oh. There's a Reen watch.
Oh, I actually switch back to
know that until I looked at it. There's a Reen watch.
It's a little boring compared to.
Actually, no. No. Sorry, that was from a previous sale. No. Those sold out already.
Okay.
Yeah, those are already sold out. Those are gone. Yeah. No. Sorry. Nope. This is it. That's the only thing that matters.
Okay. Yep. That's all that matters to me anyway.
Yep.
That's so cool though that they did that.
I know, right?
I love the inclusion there. Okay. So let's go ahead and switch to the super chats because we got one here from Thunder Yeg, who says, "Are you guys gonna check out Baten Kaitos? Are we gonna check out Baten Kaitos?
Personally, probably not. It's just not on my list to play. I mean, I still haven't played Tales of Arise.
I think
there's so many things that I need to play.
I think that I will eventually, mostly because I have Baten Kaitos 1, but not Baten Kaitos Origins, which is a very expensive game at this point.
Ooh, yeah.
So if I was going to play them both, and I definitely would like to think that I would, this is the cost-effective method of doing so. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it doesn't have the included voice acting, probably not really going to bug me because apparently the voice acting was pretty lackluster to begin with, as I understand it. So, so I think I would like to give it a shot at some point, though. So I think that I will be checking it out, but probably not anywhere near its launch, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll change my answer too, just to add that nuance. When I said no, I meant like no in the next like 3 to 6 months, like short term.
Yeah.
Long term, I mean, I just like the fact that it's there. If I ever want to play it, it's there. It's accessible. I don't need to pay an arm and a leg to. I mean, like what, like $70 to $90 on a game, and then what system did it come out on?
GameCube originally.
And then I have to get a GameCube. So it's just like not feasible, but now it is. So that's great news for everyone. So yeah, I will check it out at some point in the distant future.
Yeah. On a long enough timeline, I will have played and completed every RPG ever made. Problem is, I don't know if my body's gonna last that long. but I have aspirations. Let's see. We got another super chat just in here from Seikenso, who says, "Did either of you check out the Japanese Nintendo Direct?"
I did. Yes.
I did not.
That answers your question.
Was there anything good in it?
There's at least one game that was not shown in the American or the English Direct, which is typical. I mean, remember
Lupe was one of them last year, I think.
Yeah, there was this. I mean, remember one time they did the Nintendo Direct and they showed the Monster Rancher game with the Ultraman monsters.
Oh yes,
yeah. And then eventually that came out in English, and we talked about it.
Yeah.
And so if anyone is wondering, did we watch it, and if so, why didn't we cover the games that were in there? Is because those games are not released in the English-speaking market, is Japan only, basically. And knowing our audience, we just don't want to confuse people. Like, I can certainly tell you what game is there and what they expect to come out, but that's going to be Japanese only, right? So I just don't. We make it a point to only talk about games that have like an international release for our international viewers,
or if it catches my eye specifically, like when Lupe was announced there once, and well, we all know how that turned out.
One time,
we all know how that turned out.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it, but apparently not very many other people did.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it all right. Like it was weird. Okay. It was different, but. Some of my friends who also have played and reviewed it were far less kind to it, and I totally get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there were some games. But hey, listen, if they ever make an announcement and say, oh, this game, yeah, let's go into the West, we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah,
right here.
When we find out for sure.
When we find out for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, that about covers it for today's show.
Hey, we did pretty good.
Yeah, we made pretty good time. I think that next week though even though we covered a lot of it this week in preparation leading up to Tokyo Game Show, seriously, I still got a feeling that this TGS is going to be a bit of a doozy. I hope it's not the 4-hour episode it was last year, but if it does, well,
what are some of the companies that you're looking forward to seeing?
Oh, the companies themselves and what they're presenting?
What they might present.
I always get like really surprised. So I don't really have I want to see more from Atlas, because they're pretty big. SaGa, I think, would be nice to see more of them doing stuff.
By extension.
Yeah. I think that it would be really cool. I mean, this is a game and not another company, but I think, since SMT5 came out, where's SMT6? I mean, they could announce it now and release it in 6 years like they did last time, or they could do a Bethesda where they announce a game, 6 years ago and then announce that it has begun actually being developed this year. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
They showed the Elder Scrolls 6 announcement in what was it, 2018? And then they just said it is now in early development.
That is like the ultimate troll move.
I know.
Right there.
Oh, and Arguments says, where is SMT5 on other consoles? That's
non-existent.
Yeah, at this point.
If you want to be an SMT fan, you're just going to have to buy a Switch, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. And the day that Mr. Invalid finally caves and buy a Switch is the same day they're going to announce SMT5 for other consoles.
Oh, probably that too.
That same day, as soon as he walks out the door, he's going to get a message.
Oh, man.
Man. there are some games that I think are pretty cool that are coming down the pipeline, and I definitely want to see more about it. Remember that one tactical RPG with not Demon Slayer, Goblin Slayers characters? Like that looked pretty good. Like kind of waiting for that to happen. Like there's so many games. So I have high hopes for this TGS to just really wow us. And
Bandai Namco. Bandai
Namco.
I think they've got more stuff that they could wow us with.
They have a mecha game that was that they had talked about. It's supposed to be like a mecha slash like anime multimedia series.
What about their .hack thing that they mentioned before? I think that they mentioned they were in the process of working on a new .hack thing. Like a new, like they were undertaking a new like multimedia project, kind of like with .hack, the project .hack, and then the I can't remember the other one that they did. .hack Conglomerate, I think, was the other. Like, I think it'd be pretty cool if they had something to show for all the .hack fans who definitely exist and are very much lamenting the fact that they're probably not getting the original quadrilogy remade. So,
oh man, what is it? Breath of Fire, of course.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yep. Capcom, make it
happen. This year's it. This year is the year of Breath of Fire.
The year of the dragon.
This is it.
Let's do it. Let's go. All right. I think that about covers it for tonight, guys. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I hope that you have enjoyed catching up on all of the RPGs from this week and the week before. And we will see you guys next Sunday with a recap of all of the good stuff from Tokyo Game Show. And
heck yeah.
Maybe even a little extra.
Maybe a little, just a little bit. Don't get greedy.
All right. Have a great night, everybody. And we'll see you then.